Welcome back to the ReEducation Camp podcast. Karen O'Toole joined today by Colin Miller. And Colin, well, I guess I'm always joined by
I
Colin
was gonna
Miller.
say, like, is
Yeah,
there ever a
today,
time when you're not
today.
joined by
I guess
me?
that's like an old radio thing. I probably used to say something. I want you to know that I did get this Sabrina Carpenter shaken espresso from
Mm-hmm.
Dunkin'. So I thought you would appreciate that. It's actually not hers is like a I don't know. Hers is something else. It's like brown sugar espresso. I got caramel in mine, but I have to say it's pretty good. I was
I was
pretty
having a
happy with
little
that.
a little debate over the
It's a little
lyrics to
bit.
Espresso this morning with my cousin because I thought that it was think about me every night. Oh, isn't isn't that sweet? I guess so, but it's actually
Oh, I
is
thought that's what it
is it
was.
that sweet? Is
Is
it that
it
sweet? I guess so. It's not
is it that
isn't that
sweet?
sweet.
Oh, I
I thought
thought
it
it
was
was
isn't.
isn't that sweet also.
Well, I'm glad, but my cousin was right. And long story short, she
Well,
was right.
is that
Is it that
sweet?
sweet? I guess so.
Is
Those are the
it
actual lyrics.
is it that sweet? Okay, all right.
I
Well,
think
now we
isn't
know.
that.
We are better informed now for knowing this. And these are the
Yeah.
things that really matter. But I do want to talk a little bit later today. We're going to get into a lot of changing of the guard with the Pope passing, Klaus Schwab out at the World Economic Forum. I do want to talk a little bit. I've said this on the show many shows episodes ago about the Dunkin' Donuts effect. But I think it bears repeating. So there is in real estate this concept that if a Starbucks moves into a location, that means that the real estate in that area that will be a more desirable area. So if Starbucks moves in, that's because they're using so much data and statistics, and they know they like use an algorithm to decide where that next Starbucks is going to go, and they know, okay, we're going to plant it here. And that's an indicator that, okay, like things are on the upswing, like you're
Mm-hmm.
in a desirable area. I also have a different barometer for how I can tell people a little bit about their neighborhood. So if you are getting your coffee in a coffee place connected to a gas station where people are also playing skills games, they're picking up their beer and their kratom, like yeah, it might be time to move. It might
Yeah,
just be time to move. So
it's a good
that is
sign.
where I was able. So I know that recently, you know that a lot of times I'll try to go to Starbucks, which is a little bit further from me, but it's an area that you're familiar with. And you were surprised. You're like, oh, there's a Starbucks there now. I don't live very close. It's out of my way to go to the Starbucks. I live a little bit closer to the Dunkin' attached to the gas station. And I walk in, it's like completely filthy. There's like an old
Mm-hmm.
man. They might as well just let the people smoke inside. Like he's sitting there, like about to fall over on a pencil, using all of his disability check on this like they let them gamble in the gas stations in Pennsylvania now. I don't know what it's like in Florida, but we have slot machines in the gas stations now.
I don't think we have. I've never seen that here,
Oh
but
my
then again, I like
goodness.
rarely go inside to the actual
Okay.
mart
Okay.
part of it.
You're
So
so you're so classy, and that's why you
yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah, I won't even subject myself to anything like that.
But yeah, so it's probably an indicator if you are subjected to that. You walk in, there's just filth everywhere. It's you've got like somebody in their pajamas making you the coffee. Like, just put your house up for sale. That's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
recommend. So that's the gas station kratom effect instead of the Starbucks effect. It's like that's a sign of the times. Now, also conversely, there's also if your community has an independent, locally owned, high-end coffee shop, that's also a good indicator. But I don't know, there are some locations that I've been to that do boast that, and they're not like Pottsville has a coffee shop that's like locally owned, but I'm not moving to Pottsville ever. So I don't
No, why would
so
you? I
yeah, so
mean,
I don't know. But they do have the Yingling Brewery. they're a county
That's
seat. So
true.
yeah, so
America's beer.
America's oldest brewery. Yeah.
I
So
used to have an alcoholic neighbor growing up. He would call it fight. He was a funny guy. He was like a almost like a Jackie Gleason sort of like very loud and obnoxious, but also just like funny. And he would call it Vitamin Y Yingling, Vitamin Y, and I still affectionately refer to it as
good.
Vitamin Y to this day. And I did have a black and tan last night.
Oh,
I don't drink
nice.
very often these days, but I do enjoy a good Yingling black and tan every now and again. But yeah, I just thought I'd
Yeah.
mention that.
Yeah. Well, no, like I said, it's a county seat. It's I guess there's a little bit more going on there. But yes, the gas station, if there are more kratom shops than coffee places in your locale, it's time to just put the for sale sign, call the local realtor, and get out of Dodge because
Well,
you
I've been a
tried.
long time. I've been a long time advocate of you leaving Pennsylvania. Like I'm still. I always have my fingers sort of crossed in the background that like you guys are gonna like move.
We're
I
just
don't
gonna
know.
move. I have to say, I've told my husband, so we spent a little bit of time in Alabama this year, uh at the beginning of the year, which was nice because it was like February, and I go down
Mm-hmm.
there and it's beautiful out. Meanwhile, I come back here and it's a winter hellscape. And the winds this year, I mean, the winds today, like all of a sudden the sun came out and we have had winds like you would not believe this year. I have no idea what's going on. I don't watch the local weather station. Like I don't watch the local station to know. But the winds, we've had winds
Mm-hmm.
like you would not believe. But the point is, um, I think I wouldn't mind living like being a snowbird, like just living like part-time in a southern state and
You got
doing
to
that
pick
for a
one though.
couple months.
I'm
Yeah.
like anti snowbird. I'm like
I
you're
know
either
you're
hot or
anti-snow.
you're
I know.
cold.
I know. I
You know,
know.
it's like
But I wouldn't mind that. And like sometimes I don't know. I'm in a probably based on my husband's work, we might not stay in this immediate area, but
mm-hmm.
that kind of also depresses me too because I do have such a love of the coal region and I feel
Well, you need
like
to get over that.
I
You
know, I
really got to get
really
over
do. I
that.
feel like, but I feel like if I leave, I feel like I'm like giving up and I don't want to necessarily give up.
It's over though, Karen. You know it's over. I know it's so. Everybody knows it's over. I know
Yeah,
you're
I
hanging on to that like
guess.
nostalgia though. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I know I think I moved to where I live now with like a lot of hope for the community and over really post COVID is where everything kind of changed because it just we just it became more of like a lot of like people from New York City moved in and they're not interested in like really embracing it's always I don't know. I don't I, like I've seen that before in other locations in the Poconos where it's just like people from New York move in and they want it to be like New York and you're like, "No, we're in this is the mountains. Like you're no longer in the city." So anyway, I'm sorry I digress on this crazy
oh
coal
no, you're fine.
region
I
conversation.
would personally prefer it if you were in the South. Like that would make me
Yes.
feel better in like an odd way. Like even if you were
Yeah.
in like Alabama or something. That's just my personal preference.
I don't
So
think we're I don't think we're moving to Alabama. The thing is, it's all about family. That's I have to say that's the case. Like I've realized, 'cause I've said to my husband, I said, if we moved out of state, people that live away from their families, they have to spend their vacations visiting family. Like I have a friend who's lived in Florida since college, and a lot of his vacation time is just spent coming back to Pennsylvania. It's not like he gets to go
I just
somewhere.
brought my family here though. I made my mom
Yes,
quit
you
her
did.
job. She did.
Yeah.
She quit her
I just got
job.
to tell my parents, like, listen, it's been a good ride. Pennsylvania's been fine, but it's time to leave.
The
Like, we
company
need to
she
get
was
it.
at for 20 plus years, I made her quit and she did. And they're very happy down here, my folks. Now my brother, he's still back. He's of your mindset. He
He's a coal region
loves
guy.
oh yeah, he's a coal region guy through and through. But anyhow.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, like I said, I think it's more about the whole family dynamic. It's not even that I need to necessarily be in the coal region proper. It's just
I get
not
it.
being that far.
I do
Yeah,
get it. It
yeah.
is
And
annoying though,
Colin's like,
but
I'm family.
yeah, I mean,
Tell
I
your
was kind
parents,
of
tell your
thinking
little
that.
brothers, I'm more important.
Yeah, I mean that was in the back of my mind, but
I understand.
I
I have a
in any
question
case,
for you as a Catholic. So we all know Easter Sunday, the next day, the Pope passes away. JD
yeah,
Vance killed him.
he did.
And it's
And
very odd
he
that,
started trouble in India too because like didn't shit go down in India right after he visited there?
oh, I don't know. Did
Like
something happen to Modi?
India and Pakistan were like threatening to nuke each other
Oh my
like right
gosh.
after JD Vance left. I think something happened there. But
Oh
anyhow,
wow, how did I miss that? Yeah, so JD Vance with all the vibes just killed the Pope. And
hmm
so I see that there was a little bit of hoopla this week because a lot of people are visiting to see the Pope's corpse. I suppose I don't know what you would call that. Like you pay honor to the body of the Pope, and they're taking selfies with the Pope. So
I
yeah,
think that's in
okay,
poor taste.
I believe so too. I wanted to discuss this. I please leave your comments. Would you take a selfie with the Pope's body? That is the question. But yeah, they're just taking selfies with the body of the Pope. But like it's essentially like a funeral. Like you don't go to your aunt's funeral and take a picture at the coffin. That's unbelievable. Who would do that?
I think it's in poor taste to take a selfie with the Pope when he's alive,
That's a good
because
point.
like
That's a
the
good
Pope,
point.
the Pope is supposed to be the literal representation of Christ on earth. Like he's like Christ's representative on earth. That's how
Yeah.
Catholics are supposed to view the Pope.
Yeah.
So just in general, I don't think that the Pope should be treated like a celebrity or a politician, even although it is like a political position, but still, I don't think that's what it's supposed
I
to
don't
be.
know if I would take a selfie with like any celebrity in general. It
What
would
about
be I
Tom
feel
Cruise? Would you take a selfie with him? I think
I
you
would
would.
take a picture of him. It
Oh,
would be
I would
like
see. I'd want a selfie with him.
yeah, here's the thing too. I just don't know that I would even really bother the Pope's different because to even see the Pope, there's so much pomp and circumstance and so many crowds. It's not like somebody just another celebrity that is going to arrive and maybe you see them at In-N-Out Burger like Ghislaine Maxwell was at In-N-Out Burger. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're not the Pope is going to be with so much security, so many crowds. So to even get that close to that individual, yeah, I don't know that I would want a selfie with the Pope. And I
No,
definitely
it's
wouldn't
very
want to be with his
tacky.
dead, yeah, with his dead body. Well, I'm pretty sure that the royal family, from what I recall, are not supposed to take selfies. Like they're not allowed to
Hmm.
take selfies. I feel like they've had the Princess of Wales, Catherine. I feel like somebody caught her the one time and not like gotcha caught her, but she just said like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to," or something to that effect. Like they were trying to get, and people have gotten selfies with them, but I'm pretty sure that she's not supposed to pose and stop for a selfie. But that also might be because she's not supposed to stop for that long. But I think it's a matter of decorum.
That just
So,
reminded me. Have you ever seen the movie Crocodile Dundee?
yes, yeah, it's
The
been a long
original.
time.
There's a scene when they were hanging around with this Aboriginal tribe, and what's her name? The actress goes to take a photo, and he's like, "You can't take my photo." She's like, "Oh, you believe it'll take your spirit away?" He's like, "No, you got the lens cap on." That just reminded me
That
of that.
reminds me of the Renaissance Fair. You would have these people that are like they're taking magical fairy pictures or porch paintings, and I'm like, okay, freak, get away
Yeah.
from me.
Well, the type of people that go to Renaissance fairs
Okay, hold on.
don't
I
even get
go
me
to
started.
Renaissance fairs. You mean
Yeah,
the
but I
people
give you a
that
pass on like
work?
a lot of different things
You
though.
do.
So I don't, you're like exempt.
But wait, there's a difference between going to a Renaissance fair and working at the Renaissance fair. That's a
People who seek them
little.
out are there's always something off with them. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
well, there is something off with me. I'll concede to that. But
Yeah, but it's
I
different with
understand.
other
I
people.
understand. I get what you're saying. It's like the people that cosplay, like the
Right. It's
real. My
uh,
cousin had a wedding, a Renaissance themed wedding, and we dressed up in Renaissance clothing. I like dressed up. Yeah.
I'm not even sure what to say about that. I mean, whatever makes you happy, I suppose.
I
Who am
don't
I
even,
to?
what's odd is that I don't even recall my cousin ever going to the Renaissance fair. And then she just decided that she was having a Renaissance themed wedding. But like I said, I do not recall ever her being at the Renaissance fair from what I can recall. So I don't know where that idea
Nobody
came
has like a
from.
wedding in a church anymore. It's like
I had
that's
my wedding in a church. I did have a
I
wedding.
wasn't there though, of course, as you always bring up
Remind
like
you.
every episode. Like,
I
yeah, you
did,
didn't come.
yes, and I have a few cousins that had traditional Catholic weddings, and they're pretty intense. You go to a Catholic, I went to a Catholic wedding this past year, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was like such a long service. I'm like, when are we getting out of here? This is getting a little, I'm getting a little
Yeah,
tense. They were like, they
buckle
do like
up.
the whole sacrament, and
Hmm.
it's a long service to go to a Catholic wedding. It's a commitment. Like you better be ready for that. Make sure you ate a little snack before you get
Well,
there.
I am going to insist on having a Catholic wedding if I get married one day.
You
I mean, that's
should.
just gonna be a requirement. Otherwise, it's like, it's is it even real then if it's not a
That's
Catholic
a good
wedding?
point. Like that's a really good point. Like I don't know. I guess maybe that's a sign of the times too that like and I have to say I have family members that I appreciate that have had I've been an officiant for a wedding. Not an officiant, but I did they did a Justice of the Peace wedding, but I did the ceremony. So I'm
Hmm.
saying, yeah, things have really changed. I do appreciate though that people do not I don't like people pretending though. Like if you don't go to church, why
Right,
should you? It's kind of like when
right.
people swear on the Bible and then they maybe like swear on a different holy book. Well, like yeah, I'd rather you swear on the book you actually believe in. Like if
That's what
you want to
Kash Patel did when he got sworn in
did he
as
not get
the
sworn on the Bible? What did he get sworn on? Like
whatever the Elephant God book is. I probably
I
gonna
didn't
get
even
in
know they
trouble
had a
for
book.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ganesh's book. I have no idea, but it wasn't the Bible. It was
Yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
Hindu book is.
Yeah, and essentially, I mean, wouldn't we kind of prefer them to swear in a book they actually believe in than swear on?
Yeah, I mean, if you believe in witchcraft, I'd rather you be
Yeah.
sworn in.
Wasn't some woman's like, didn't some astronaut or something, wasn't she like sworn in on like Carl Sagan or something to that effect
Yeah,
recently?
oh,
Like
that
there was
sounds
somebody,
nauseating.
yeah, there was something, yeah, it was really a try hard moment. It was just like a little extra, but yeah, I mean, I have to say, I don't want you to swear on the Bible if like that's not what you
Hmm.
believe. Like if you're a Satanist, I'd rather you swear on the book of Satan. Like,
Yeah,
okay, well that's what you believe. All right. Well, people decided to vote for you. You just need
I
maybe perhaps when people are running from office, that should be one of the things that is discussed. Like we have to be like, well, what are you going to swear on when you're sworn in? And that needs to be like from the get-go. Like you need to know that next to the Democrat, Republican, be like, oh, they're gonna swear in on the Satan verses. Okay. All right. So we know. So at least you can
it's
kind of
like
take that into consideration.
we have no unifiers anymore as a country at all. Like it used to be, the fact of the matter is that back in the day, what unified us as a country, quite frankly, it was race and religion. That's what like tied everybody together. Seriously, it was a Christian country predominantly.
Well, yeah, I
And
believe I believe like you said religion in a lot of ways, but you also have to remember that at some point in time Irish people, Italians, Lithuanians, like they were not considered white people. They were
That's true.
considered others. Like
That's true.
to the Protestant class, a lot of them came in, they were Catholics. And we have to remember
Hmm.
too, Protestants and Catholics were not necessary. It was a big deal that JFK became president. That
Oh
was huge.
yeah,
An Irish Catholic president, that was revolutionary in a lot of ways. So as much as we
it
think that there
was.
was no division, there's always division. I mean, look at India. They have a caste system. Like to us, we're like, oh, you all are the same. Everybody in India is, oh no, we've got a
Hmm.
way to change to make ourselves different. I mean, look at some of the countries in Africa. Like they have different tribes. And from for us on the outside looking in, we think, oh, all those people, they must be the same. They must all get along. Oh, absolutely not. Like people are always going to find a way to create differences and find a way to just perceive another person as other because we as human beings, unfortunately, the way we are is we need to perceive ourselves as better, or we need to create some kind of caste system essentially. So no matter how homogenous we are, there's going to be division. There's
What ties
always
us
going to be.
together now? Does anything tie us together as a
Um,
country?
Does anything
Does
tie
Taylor
us
Swift
together?
tie us
I was thinking
together?
Taylor Swift. I was thinking Taylor Swift's is
It's like,
actually, which I have to tell you, Candace Owens, I was just listening to Candace and they were talking about how that Taylor Swift calls other pop stars, like younger pop
yeah,
stars, and
like
kind of like reads in the riot
her and
act.
her
Her and her
mother, her and
mother,
her mother
her
like leave
mother.
threatening voice messages.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
mean,
could see
honestly,
that.
yeah, I was not surprised in the slightest. I was
Oh,
like, yeah, I had her number. I knew
I
what was
believe it
up.
too. I believe virtually everything Candace Owens says. So,
I am at a point too where after I really wasn't sure how I felt about the Brigitte Macron, I was kind of a denouncer, but I don't know. She kind of had me convinced, like, because she was saying about how the left wing journalists were the ones. I'm going to have to do a little bit of deeper dive on this, but she said that the left wing journalists were trying to write essentially puff pieces on
mhm.
Brigitte. But then when they went to go dig in, like when they looked up for Michelle Obama, well, Michelle Obama is clearly, by all historical accounts and records, is well, maybe she's not a
What?
good example, but at least like when people dig up records about Michelle Obama, it's like she grew up on the South Side of Chicago. These are who her parents were. There's a lot of information, like more information about her. But when they looked into Brigitte, it's as if she didn't exist. And then they said
Hmm.
that the journalist, when they wanted to go look at the school yearbooks, they were like locked out of looking at the yearbooks.
Yeah, that's a little
Yeah,
suspicious.
so it's very like I said, I'm not
Hmm.
completely um I don't know how, I don't know if it matters, but
Have you ever
I,
been to France before?
no, the only place in Europe I've been to is Ukraine. I like to go to hotly contested countries. So I've been to Taiwan, I've been to Ukraine. I like to visit, postcards from the edge in a sense.
Yeah. You've
So,
been
but
to
no,
Japan?
yeah, and well, yeah. So that's not as highly contested of a region,
No,
but
not right now,
they're
anyway.
the Japanese, the Japan belongs to the Japanese at this point in time. But no, I've only been to Ukraine. I've never been to France. I would like to go to France, but I heard that the French are kind of mean. I heard that they're
Yeah, I
kind
was
of,
gonna say that's the one country in Europe that I don't really have much of a desire to
oh,
visit.
really?
Truth be told, it's just, well, what are you gonna do there, really? Like, you're gonna see the Eiffel Tower, and it's like, oh, there's the Eiffel Tower, and then that's it, really. You're done.
Well, yeah, I suppose I'd like to go to Normandy. That might be interesting to go
Yeah,
there.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's some interesting
If you see the
other
Ardennes,
cities. I don't know. I'm kind of down to go anywhere though. So I would pretty much
How about North
within
Korea? Would you
reason.
go there?
I would totally go to North Korea.
I
I would
bet you it's like
100%.
stunning, like as far as
It's
like a, I know seriously, like I bet you like when it's lit up at night and everything, like I bet you they have like a beautiful future. That's the way I picture it anyway. I'm picturing like this like futuristic looking sort of city all lit up. I could be way off there. I don't know what I'm
yeah,
talking
it's
about.
like it's like a Soviet hellscape, like the Soviet block apartments. I have a friend who his mother, rest in peace, she just passed away a couple months ago. Uh, she was from North Korea, and her
Mm.
family actually escaped on foot to get out of the country. All of her all the like men in her family were executed by the communists. Yeah, it was pretty
I
crazy.
don't
And she had to
believe any of
escape.
that. That's all
And she
propaganda.
yeah, no, oh no, no, no. This is like real deal. Like and it's a shame because she like never told the story. I always told him, I said, you need to put a recording device in front of your mother and get her to tell these stories. But yeah, he would talk about how she saw like dead bodies and people that just like couldn't make the trip like on the way. It was, yeah, it was pretty
So there are probably
horrifying.
like North Korean women who would definitely marry me just to
Get out
get out and get
to come.
citizenship here. Like probably, right?
Absolutely. Oh,
Hmm.
100%. I'm sure there's people from other countries
Yeah,
that
you're
would
right.
too. Like I don't even have to sell yourself to North Korea. You
Yeah, it
can
doesn't even have to be North Korea necessarily. Hmm.
Well, for the time being, I don't know because the rich people are getting golden visas to other countries. So I don't
That's
know
true.
how much the US citizen deal is
That does cheapen it, that whole golden ticket thing that they're doing. Like you
yes, it
pay
does. I don't like
five
that. I'm
million bucks or whatever to get that. That really
yeah. Our
cheapens the whole.
citizenship is not for sale, okay? This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Although we pretty much know if you have money, you can buy your way.
Right.
I don't know, there wasn't Prince Harry. They were kind of they were calling up his visa. So
Mm.
but that's because he married wrong. So that's yeah, they were
Well.
there was some contest going on with his. But I did want to talk about Klaus Schwab is out at the World Economic Forum. I'm not sure if you heard about this. This is
Yeah, I saw that he stepped up, but I thought that that happened like a while back.
so there were some allegations, but no, he officially stepped down on Monday. And I thought the most interesting allegation about it was that well, first off, they said, according to the Wall Street Journal and the Financial Times, they including the allegations that Schwab used World Economic Forum funds to pay for private in-room massages at hotels. He
Hey,
asked staff to promote him. This is the best one. He asked staff to promote him for a Nobel Peace Prize. And then he also instructed junior employees to withdraw thousands of dollars from ATMs on his behalf. So
hmm,
that is apparently, but yeah, so I guess he stepped down and he's denying all the allegations. But I'm pretty sure that he started the World Economic Forum. So why can't he
yeah.
take all the money out? Like, why can't we just, he can do whatever he wants?
I
But
understand the massage thing. Like that's like if you have the ability to do that, to have like in room like massages. I mean, there's nothing like a good massage, you know.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Why shouldn't the company be paying for that? Why shouldn't the
Yeah,
economic
I don't see any reason why.
something's amiss about this though, because he is he is like the founder of the World Economic Forum. Like he's the person. So something just doesn't smell right to me that he's suddenly out. Is there someone more sinister about to take his place? Like that's
I
but
don't know because part of me sometimes I wonder like did they ever even really control anything? Like I understand that they have like these big conferences where they talk about transhumanism and hacking the human body and who's that guy? Yuval
y'all
Noah
Harari.
Harari. But it's like at the end of the day, is their existence, like the fact that everybody knows about the World Economic Forum, is that just some sort of perhaps a distraction away from the true controllers? Because it does seem they're so cartoony. just the whole concept of the World Economic Forum and the character of Klaus Schwab. It is very
Yeah, he
cartoony. You know what I mean?
yeah, his whole accent and appearance is just so unsettling. Like
Yeah,
it seems like central casting
for a Bond
version
villain.
of some kind. Yeah, so like a Bond villain, some kind of yeah, like the New World Order leader. Like that's
Hmm.
exactly who you would cast in that character. I thought
Right.
it was interesting that after this happened, its board of trustees got together, and that includes BlackRock chief Larry Fink, the International Monetary Fund
Mm,
managing director, Al Gore, and also cellist Yo-Yo Ma, of all people, is
Yo-Yo
also
Ma.
one of the yeah is also on the board. So they're the ones. But
Hmm.
like you said, I think it's interesting. It's they are almost more, as you said, it's a forum of people coming together. Really, what the World Economic Forum is just, in a
It's
sense, telling us what they're up to, like what these different corporations, businesses are, governments, like them just kind of coming together and telling and putting out the ideas for how they're trying to shape the future.
excuse the expression, but it's almost like a circle jerk for psychopaths. Like
Yeah,
they all
yeah,
get together and just,
yeah. Hmm.
it like
I need the
fantasize
Nobel
about.
Peace Prize.
Yeah, exactly. You know who it should be at? You know who should be the new leader? Vince McMahon
Hmm.
should swoop in there. It should be Vince, the new leader of the World Economic Forum. That's
He
my
should.
vote.
He should, absolutely. I mean, Linda's in charge of education,
Yeah,
and then Vince
exactly.
can take
Yeah.
care of.
Right. Yeah. I still feel bad for Vince, how he was pushed out of his baby that he created. And like part of me is rooting for him to get back at them somehow. And maybe this could be it. Maybe he
Well,
could.
I mean, it's kind of the same story of what's going on with Klaus right now. Like your Joe
Mm-hmm.
Biden was pushed out,
Yeah.
Klaus was pushed out. So,
Yeah, all these like geriatric guys, are
well,
being.
I don't know how old Vince McMahon is, but I will put it out there that Klaus Schwab is also silent generation white hair. He's not a baby boomer. He is from the silent generation. I don't like that they get a pass. I like to lump them in and let you know that they're really responsible for a lot of things. They always get a pass from people. They lump them in with the boomers, but they're
Vince is
distinctly
79.
different. He's 79, so he's
He's gonna be 80 this odd August 24th. Is he a Virgo? Is he a Virgo like I am? I have so much in common with Vince, I'll tell you.
Vince. I have so much
I have
in
to look that
common.
up. Is Vince McMahon a Virgo? Astrological sign. Pisces. Wait, no, no, no. I'm sorry. This is very important. Okay, yeah, no, he's a Virgo. Vince McMahon,
Wow.
he is a Virgo, just like me. See, all the best people are Virgos. Karen, it's just.
Wait, let me see if Klaus Schwab is also. No, he's born in March. Okay,
Mm,
I think he's an Aries. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about when we do.
I don't really know what I'm talking about
I'm
either.
an expert in manifesting. I'm thinking about doing that as my career. I'm changing my career. I'm gonna be a manifesting coach. That is something I'm considering. No, but tongue in cheek. I'm saying this, but I do think it's interesting how like the economy has become just an economy of people that are like, you can do it. Like there's so much of that
Mm-hmm.
out there. It's like
Oh yeah.
everything is
Yes.
a freaking, here's my guide, get my course, download my course that you can, so I can teach you how to do it. You can do it too. This is how you do it. Like I think that we should release a course in how to doom scroll, because I feel like people are probably not doing it properly, and like we should make that available to people. Like here is how you doom scroll. Here is how you waste decades of your life sitting in front of a little
Right.
screen, and we're going to let you have this free guide. So, and what you do is, so here's how it works, Colin. So like first we release a guide, and that's free. That's where you start at that tier. So you get that
Mm-hmm.
in. Then you go to another group, and I don't know, you do like coaching, Zoom call coaching, and that's where you get a bunch of people on the call, So we would have maybe like 20 people on the call, and then we would teach these people how to doom scroll, how to become masters. And then the people, now that costs money. We're not doing that for free. We're not showing, you're not getting exclusive Zoom call with us for
Right.
freaking nothing. So that's like $500. Okay. From there, we'll offer our doom scrolling mastermind. And the doom scrolling mastermind is like $5,000. And that's a one-on-one coaching with you on how to doom scroll. Now, for the real cult members, we're going to offer the ones that really want to invigorate their lives through doom scrolling. They want to see their lives transformed. They can come to our doom scrolling retreat. And that's $25,000 per person. And there you go.
Tell you
I mean,
what,
that's what we should be. That is the economy right now.
I think I'd rather start an OnlyFans account because that sounds like a lot of work what you
Yeah.
just described there. So I think, I'd
Yeah,
rather
you're right.
just
You're right. That is
prostitute
true.
myself. Yeah.
I saw a stat, and I don't know if this is true. I should look it up. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Please tell me in the comments that women like 18 to 25, like 1 in 5 have created an OnlyFans account. Have you seen this stat?
I've seen similar statistics. Yes. Yeah,
But
it's
here's the
very
thing. It's like podcasting. Like we have a podcast. We're not rich. Like everybody, I mean, I
that's
know
the thing.
multiple people that are on the verge of like a mental breakdown who have podcasts. I mean, we're some of them, but
Yeah, we're
like,
definitely some of them. At least I am.
but I know like we know somebody. We
Yeah, we
we have
know.
a mutual person that we
Hmm.
know who is launching a podcast. And it's so funny because this individual is like, community really needs this. And I was like, does the community
What is she going to be offering to the community?
like, I don't know. Every time I log in, and I've said this before, but it's one of these things that I've got to say again, especially when you don't go on social media as often, like when you start to kind of walk away from it a little bit or you spend a little bit time off and then like I try to log in like to my actual I have to log in to social media for work purposes. So I'm usually not on my own personal account. But about like once a week, I'll get a coffee and I'll just tap in to see what's happening with the people I know. And I feel like I've entered an insane asylum. Like I feel like I need to give my name at the front door and say, I'm just here visiting. I'm not here to stay. Like, I'm just going to come in. I'm going to say hello to some of the people I know, check in on them, see how they're doing. And I genuinely feel like it's like people that should not be broadcasting their thoughts are just uninhibited to just share.
Hmm.
I mean, if I showed you one of the videos I saw yesterday,
Well,
was
anytime I log into Facebook Messenger and I see a notification from you, like 9 times out of 10, it's about this person that we're talking about that started the
well,
podcast.
there was actually a different person that you don't know that I logged in yesterday, and I'm probably the only person that actually I'm like the target audience, like target demographic, because like I just am like the only person watching.
Right. Yeah, you're very into it. You're very
Yes, yeah.
interested.
I'm like studying observationally as like a psychologist would or like some
Hmm.
kind of anthropologist. So this other individual was like posting like her to-do list. Like she live streamed her, sorry. She was like live streaming like her to-do list. She was like, okay.
Was there like laundry on there? Was it like household
Yes, it
chores and
was like, I'm
such?
gonna go out into the garden next week and then I'm going to do this. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening in this country. But like I said, like I don't know if I would feel differently if I was on social media more often, or I don't know if this is something to do with the pharmaceutical industry. I don't know if this is like the just the level of narcissism we have reached, but something is happening. Like something is, I mean, I think it's been happening, but sometimes like it just hits me so hard that I can't ignore it. And I don't know, what do you think it's just the absurd level of narcissism that's just been unlocked because
God,
of
I
the
think it's a
social
lot of
media?
things. I think pharmaceuticals definitely play a part in it, and just technology in general. It all goes back to what do we always say on what do we always say is that you we as human beings were not supposed to know everything that was happening in the world
all the time.
like all the time 24/7 and have that basically like implanted in us. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of it's ironic to talk about the internet being like the antichrist since we're broadcasting on the internet right now. But I don't know. I feel like we would have been better off as a society if not everybody had access to it. I mean, once the iPhone came out in what 2012 was that when the first iPhone came out? Like that no, wait. 2000 2009, I think. 2008 or 2009 is when the first iPhone came out,
Yeah, I
I
think it
want
was
to say.
2008. I remember being a freshman in college and seeing them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been
That
spring
was the
semester.
end of a normal society, really, once that was introduced. Was it not? Like everything just sort of seemed to go awry, so to speak, after that. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. We're not supposed to be we're not supposed to be androids, is what I'm trying to say.
No, no. And like you said, we're also not supposed to be deeply connected to all of this 24/7, stimulated constantly. I think we talked before about like you were like, "Oh, I just want to like sit on my porch. Like I just want to be able to sit on
Right.
my porch and just do nothing." And I really feel like that it just stems from being overstimulated all the time. And I really recognize this with the Ukraine war. I think the Ukraine war is such a great example of how when the invasion first happened, you saw all these Ukrainian flags everywhere. There were all these people. And then all of a sudden, over time, I noticed that the Ukrainian flags were no longer gone, but the war didn't end. And I really believe like I'm not now obviously some of those people are just virtue signaling, but I do feel like
Most of them.
genuinely there were a lot of people that had a concern, like they had a some kind of empathy, some kind of compassion towards this country that was invaded.
I was
But
like, get him, Vlad. Get him finally. Take it back.
but
The birthplace of the motherland. Let's reclaim it. I'm
yeah,
joking.
no,
Joking.
no, I get it. But then I know, like I said, I noticed that those flags were gone. But in some capacity, how are people supposed to feel this empathy 24/7 for something that is so foreign from their lives? Like I remember talking to one of my somebody I worked for after my transplant, and I was telling him like I don't know how it came up what we were sharing about, and I just told him that I don't really talk about it a lot. Like I don't tell people like a lot of the details. I just don't really get into it. I don't make it a topic of conversation. Like, and I said to him, people are more, their hangnail is more important to them than my transplants because
That's true.
it's what's actually happening to them. So I understand that people can have genuine compassion for me. I know that there was a lot of outpouring of support and love and prayer for me, and I appreciate that. And I know that those people were genuine, and I truly, truly appreciate how many people reached out to me. But I also understand that they also have things and obstacles and challenges and medical struggles and financial struggles happening in their own lives that are important to them. So it is not their responsibility to be constantly checking in on me or having me explain every little nitty-gritty detail about what's happening with my body. Like it's just
I was of the
not.
mindset of like, Karen, can you get over this? Because I got a lot of problems. Like, I've got problems here, and this has been going on. Just get over this already. Come on. I need
but
help.
but yeah, you're like
it's my
you
it's
need to
my
get
time
yourself
now.
together. Yes,
Yes.
it's the summer of Colin.
Exactly. So
But
enough.
yeah, but I think that that's true, and I'm saying that as somebody that had a lot of support and had people um, that was the receiver of a lot of compassion and empathy. But I also understood that it wasn't people's responsibility to be in my life so much and be checking in on me and making sure I was okay. And like I wouldn't take it personal. I've never thought ill of anybody for not checking in on me or asking me about my transplant, or even like people will ask me if like I'm gonna have children or something. And I have people in my life that like get kind of upset that people even ask me that question. And I'm like, they just have no idea what I've gone through. And I don't expect them to. Don't take everything so personally. Don't be so offended by it. But like I said, I think that that just demonstrates the, like you said about the news cycle. Just think about the people that you personally talk to and all the struggles they're going through and trying to
You
keep up with them.
like
Yeah, like you, your cousin,
yeah, like that's it.
but also too, but like then you think about the people you have on Facebook that you might acquaintances, old classmates, old coworkers, those people in your sphere. And then think about the whole world and what's going on X and what's happening with Doge and what's it's just all too much for people. Like how are you it's irrational for people to to be stimulated and to be constantly involved and expect to actually feel any sense of true empathy for all of that all the time. It's just completely bizarre to
We've got
think
to
that we're even
nuke
capable of
the
that.
cell towers. We need to nuke the cell
We need to,
towers, nuke the data centers, nuke the AI data centers. I mean, people talk about how AI, like we can't put the genie back in the bottle. I'm sorry, there has to be a server. There has to be a physical server somewhere that is like the heart of everything. Just take it out. Just pull the plug. Is it in the cloud now? Like is that is it, you know what I mean?
but the cloud essentially are the data centers.
Right. Yeah, it all goes back
Yeah.
to a central data center. So just pull the plug. Genie's back in the
Yeah.
bottle then.
Maybe Trump will threaten that next.
I wish he would. I That's what we need to be. We need to be focusing on dismantling the AI data centers because that is really ultimately probably is a more realistic, bigger threat than nuclear war is actually. Because if there was a nuclear war, it's like, okay, we're done. You know,
Yeah.
we'll finally be at peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with AI, it's gonna set up like it's gonna enslave us all, is what it's gonna do.
It's going to be like the
You know?
Matrix. Then
Yeah.
you'll actually be all those people that think they're Neo.
Yeah, everybody, like pretty much everybody online
Everybody on
thinks that
X
they're
is
yeah, everybody on
Neo.
X is
Yeah.
Neo. Yeah.
They're like literally in their basements like I'm just going to be I'm getting on the what was the name of the ship? Shoot, I can't remember.
Oh, the Nebuchadnezzar, was that it?
Nebuchadnezzar. It
Nebuchadnezzar?
was
Yeah,
Nebuchadnezzar or
the
whatever. Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar, yeah.
They're like, I'm getting on the ship. And they're like, no, you're not.
Right. Yeah, no, you're definitely
No, you're
not.
not going. Elon is going to Mars. You are going to stay here. He's not your pal. He's not interested.
Yeah.
He's taking a 16-year-old female with him. That is who he will be.
Correct.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
be taking his harem and his offspring with him, and he will be leaving you on this planet. So
Hmm.
unfortunately, you will be in the nuclear winter, and you will not be departing the planet with Elon. You will be stuck here in the Matrix with the rest of us. But I guess we should wrap things up. I don't even know. I lost total
Yeah,
track of time.
I think yeah, no, I think we're closing in on an hour, I would say. Well,
All right.
it's been good enough, right? I mean, we we gave
We
we
showed
gave
up.
it yeah, we showed up, we gave, what we
You
had
gave your all.
in the I don't know if I gave my all, but I gave what I had today in the reserves.
I do want to talk about one last thing before I go. I meant to talk about this when I was talking about the Duncan effect. There's
Mhm.
also another effect that I've recognized, and that was that I went to go buy a $6 Maybelline makeup product, and I had to wait for a Walmart employee to
To
open
unlock it.
to unlock it, this Maybelline product, the whole makeup section at this particular Walmart that I usually do not visit. I go to a different Walmart, like the whole thing. And I don't even know if that, to be honest with you, it's at a point where I only used to see those in very specific Walmarts.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I can't believe I'm in this like little country bumpkin town and I have to go wait for Lorianne to come and open up this for a
Well,
$6 makeup product. And I'm like, where can I go? Where can I escape this?
you
Because I
mentioned
don't feel
early.
like there is anywhere anymore.
No, there isn't. You mentioned earlier about the changing demographic in the area, and I'm just thinking to myself, like as you're telling, as you're telling this story, there are people. People know why. People know why the products need to be locked up. They know
Yeah,
why
no,
in their
I
minds, and they're not
but
saying.
yeah, but
We all know why.
I also know that there are just plenty of local people that have been born and bred in the
Oh, sure.
area that I think it's just a collapse of morality in general, though. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
just a collapse across all demographics where, yeah, like these kids aren't being raised to even think anything of that. I mean, they're being raised that there's no God, that it's your truth. I mean, essentially, why shouldn't
That's
they
right.
steal? I mean, why should you not steal the makeup? Why shouldn't you?
Right. Why should?
Because it's like
Yeah, it's
your
an
truth.
evil corporation makes it,
Yeah,
and
it's an evil sick
therefore,
corporation. I mean, Luigi's out taking care of the healthcare system. Your
right.
job, your little revolution is to take the Maybelline makeup product. So why don't you just go pick it up off the shelf? And it's your truth. That makeup product doesn't belong to Walmart. That makeup product belongs to me because I
Mm-hmm.
believe that, and I don't believe why is stealing an issue? Why is that wrong? I don't think that stealing. Who's to tell me what's right and wrong? Who's to tell me what's true and false? So if my truth tells me this makeup product belongs to me because Walmart is an oppressor and I am the oppressed. So,
Correct.
yes, yeah. And I mean, that's pretty much buckle up, folks, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
not going to
actually
get any
bumpy
better,
night, bumpy
unfortunately.
years.
It's not going to get any better
Yeah, you're right. We
unless
pretty much need an EMP. We pretty much need.
that I'm telling you, the relief that we would feel collectively as a species when like all the cell towers were just
Remember
like,
like COVID?
oh,
Remember when COVID in Vienna, they're like the earth is healing itself from all of this. That is
yeah.
how we as a species would feel. The Homo sapiens would be like the whales in Vienna during COVID, where they would just return and we would just
Mhm.
feel, like you said, just a sense of calm. And actually, it's interesting. We'll have to talk about next time. I'm going to be in the Big Easy in Louisiana.
I've
Okay,
never
so
been.
we will definitely talk about that when I get back. But we should talk about that. Talk about how millennials, like why millennials are constantly on, because I had a debate, not a debate, but somebody attacked me in comments. So that's always I
Oh yeah,
sparred
that's right. We didn't
with
talk about it.
yeah, we
We'll
never
talk about
talked
that
about
next week.
that.
We'll
Yeah,
talk
there's
about
a
it
lot
next
of
week.
no, this is a totally different comment from months ago, but there's
Yeah.
just so much to talk about, so much going on, changing of the guard. So, well,
Yeah.
Colin, it's been fun.
Yeah, well, it's always fun, and we hope that you've enjoyed this. If you've hung in there, if you've hung in with us throughout the duration of this, and hopefully, well, no, not hopefully, we'll be back next week for
Well, 2 weeks,
more.
2 weeks.
Yeah, oh, 2 weeks. That's right. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more riveting conversations and musing. So, thanks everybody. Have a lovely week.